Today we're going to be talking about how you can master the game of Bedwars no matter if you're just starting or already a 500-star sweat. I'm going to go super in depth in this video and cover topics that no one has talked about before. I worked really hard on this video finding some of the newest and coolest strategies out there, and I do hope you enjoy it. Without further ado, let's get started. There's lots of wasted PvP in Bedwars, whether using raw damage from weapons or the Void. I'll start off by talking about how to use the Void, but touch on actual PvP with just swords later on. To start, learning to W tap is essential for winning Bedwars fights on hypixel. For those that don't know, every hit after your first hit does way less knockback, and the only way to reset this to do the full knockback is by letting go of W, pressing S, blocking, or crouching. Learning to effectively W tap or use other sprint reset methods to not only send your enemies flying, but also maintain a combo is essential for winning Bedwars games. The thing about hypixel is the servers are really confusing and no one seems to know the amount of KV you deal. People just go flying on this server, so if you learn to W tap, you can send them even further.
What the?
Some ways you can kill people with W tapping is by baiting people towards edges, or strafing and positioning yourself so you end up facing towards the Void, hitting them into it. This connects to the next topic, which is positioning in fights. Once I saw someone on Reddit, okay guys, don't make fun of me, I actually have a life surprisingly. Anyway, this Reddit post said something along the lines of, is block clutching a necessary skill for Bedwars, or is it just to get away with having bad positioning? If you have to block clutch constantly, you're not better than someone that can't block clutch at all. You just have worse positioning than them and don't get punished as often. Obviously block clutching is a great skill that takes a ton of practice, and I respect players that can do it consistently. But if you want to win games, you need to play safe and avoid situations where you may need a block clutch to survive. This video is intended to help you win Bedwars matches, not farm TikTok clips for your 12 followers. By positioning yourself and strafing towards safer areas with more land, you'll reduce the chance of getting into these situations. By facing your enemy to the Void, you gain another advantage as well. Kills with the Void not only make securing the kill easier as it reduces the damage you have to take, but it also stalls how long they take to get killed. This can give you an extra split second to break their bed and secure the final kill instead of having to risk taking them on in another fight. But so far I've only talked about how to use the Void to kill, and unfortunately, depending on the map or where you are standing, the Void may not be a viable option to kill someone with. Sometimes it just comes down to who fights better, and that's a whole other type of thinking. Speaking of thinking, you guys should think about hitting that subscribe button. Join my Discord, hit the subscribe button, and you know the drill. For just raw PvP on a map like Archway or Cliffside where there's not a lot of Void, blocks are always going to be your friend. You see, hypixel made the decision to not allow projectiles like rods or snowballs into Bedwars, so starting combos can be quite difficult. Fortunately, blocks can be swiftly placed right in front of someone's path, which will stop their movement and give you the first hit. So if you have blocks to spare and can't seem to get the first hit on someone, just placing a block in front of their path will help you set up that combo. Once you have a first hit, if you're able to maintain a combo, you will literally be able to hold them there forever until they turn and run or pearl away. Again, comboing on hypixel is super tough, even with W tapping. I've made this joke like 15 million times, but some people will literally just get flown to Africa with one hit, while others don't seem to realize they're being hit, so you have to learn to adapt on the fly to match your enemy's KB. The best thing you can do for yourself is figure out a pattern or combo that works on most players that you can use a lot. Lots of players tend to do just one strafe pattern most of the time out of pure habit, and once they get someone locked in a combo, they don't change up how they strafe. For example, I tend to hold hard right while W tapping quickly forward and trying to keep them in range. This is the combo that I naturally do, and like many others, I need to stop doing it since it's a really bad habit relying on just one strafe pattern. That being said, learning your sweet spot and figuring out how you can hold a combo is extremely important for winning games, so it can be a comfortable thing you can lean back on. Whether yours is just holding W and spamming A and D, or perfectly timing S taps between hits, learning just one pattern perfectly is way better in my opinion than just being decent at a lot of combinations. Again, don't initiate every combo with like a right side strafe or something, because then you're actually just predictable. But once you have them in a combo, it's good to have something that you're reliable with so you can secure the kill. Minecraft is a literal block game that's still an oddity sometimes, and depending on your CPS, ping, and even your opponent's ping, you'll have to change up how you play. Now, something that you can control in a fight is high ground and low ground advantages. I already said this in a recent video, but I'll rephrase this part with better examples. Literally every single player in existence knows about low ground advantage already. It's like the first thing you learn when you started off PvPing. If you don't know though, it's basically that you can hit people in Minecraft easier from below since your hits come from your head and you get a reach advantage. Here's the diagram on screen right now. Feel free to take notes. I don't really care, man. Thing is, people also say high ground is good too, but no one ever explains why. Height gives you two main advantages. Firstly, you control the fight, like when it happens and when you engage. If you're far above someone, the only way that they can reach you is by stacking up since they have the reach of a newborn baby from below you. If they try to get up to you, you can just jump on them when they're looking down, giving you a huge advantage since you have eyes on them at all times while they have to keep looking down to stack up. Secondly, you basically get invincibility frames when you jump on someone. Minecraft is designed weird since when you take damage from something, you have a 0.5 second gap where you're immune to any new damage. This means that when you jump down and take fall damage, you temporarily gain some invincibility frames where no one can hit you. The only possible way to counter this is to hit the person midair just before they hit the floor. But this is way more difficult than it seems, given that they're falling at terminal velocity and the server's always lagging. This is seriously such a big deal, and I don't think enough people realize this. If you jump down, don't bother ladder clutching because you'll just make it easier for them to hit you. It's okay if you tank a little bit of damage because then it'll give you that little invincibility frames that you need to set up a combo. To sum this all up, in a normal 1v1 without anything in mostly flat terrains, low ground is superior since you can get better reach. If there are blocks involved and you have to be glued to your bed to protect it, high ground will be superior as you have every opportunity to control the fight. Again, this is restating what I've said in a past video, but one thing so many people tend to ask now is, well, how do I counter these high ground campers then? I can't reach these 7-foot tall basketball players since they're halfway to the sky limit, but what should I do? Well, in that case, that's when you use the most broken item in Bedwars, the ladder. Okay, it's not actually the best item, but for its cost, it provides some of the most value in the entire game, hands down. People hate ladders for no reason, man. They're seriously just fun to play with. If your enemy is on a bridge and places some blocks to block your path, just ladder up and follow them. If they pillar up, just ladder after them. It works in so many situations, and the best part is you'll always have your eyes on them the entire time you place ladders since they have to look down to place blocks, meaning you'll just have a better angle. Just use ladders, man, but don't be that one guy that jumps down 4 blocks and calls it a ladder clutch. You're just embarrassing yourself. Literally, as I'm about to start uploading and editing this video, Hypixel releases a super sudden Bedwars update, so I just want to say, to be honest, it's mostly just quality of life stuff. The one change that I'm really loving, or the two changes I love is bedbugs being buffed by reducing the price, and counter-offensive trap basically becoming stronger, the potion effects, and also lasting longer. I don't know, they have so much potential, I swear. 30 iron is way more affordable. That 10 iron difference is so huge. Throwing bedbugs down and then basically gain time to block in because the bedbugs basically acts as a teammate and knocks the enemy away, which is like so useful, especially in solos. Just like how Gator became like the ladder guy, I want to be the bedbug guy. I'm saying it right now. I'm gonna be the bedbug YouTuber guy. Out of all the different PvP games in Minecraft, Bedwars requires more brain power than a lot of them. Lots of players will grind out certain skills like block-ins, strafe patterns, and various types of bridging methods, but none of it matters if you only have 2 brain cells. Earlier we discussed how keeping your eyes on the enemy in fights gives you a major advantage, whether you're on high ground or climbing up with ladders. Your mentality when doing almost anything should be to watch your enemies at all times and always know where they are in comparison to you. Seriously, since free look was banned, I see so many people just not using F5 at all and just waiting for free look to come back. F5 is literally the most broken thing in the entire game and no one talks about it at all. It's literally a free wall hack that's a part of the vanilla game. Use it to your complete advantage and gain as much information as you can from it. Keeping your eyes on the enemy can also help in other games too, like in forest situations. One of my favorite things ever to do in forest is counting. Yes, like kindergarten counting, you know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, that one. I know you play Bedwars all day, so you're probably failing all your classes, but you can hopefully count. If you're in a party holding pressure on your enemy, by just counting the enemies out loud, it provides so much for your team. We all know it's stressful having someone standing above your bed just out of reach. If you run your gen and try to get items, then your bed's gone. This same thing works for doubles, 3s, and even 4s. Just standing out of range of your enemy above them gives your teammates so much time to collect emeralds or diamonds, or time to set up for fights by getting to a better location. When you're running around not fighting, look around for information that can help you. Does one team seem to have a lot of blocks placed at mid, meaning they might have collected emeralds? Does another team have a lot of bridges connecting to many bases, meaning they took out lots of teams and are probably good? I tend to go brain AFK in these types of situations and autopilot while walking across bridges through dead bases or even through middle, but there's a lot of info to gather by simply using your eyes sometimes. Now, I've gone over the basics of PvP and some things you should be looking for. I'm not going to talk extensively about 3s and 4s since there isn't much to say. If you have a group of above average players in a party and you all know each other pretty well, you can easily go on 50+ game win streaks by just Q dodging constantly. But if your future wife saw this, she'd probably just leave you on the spot, so it's not worth your time. Even if you suck at the game, just learn IYN and grab a party for 3s or 4s. But what I do want to end out this video with is talking about how to work as a team. Coordination between players is what makes the difference in almost any Bedwars, doubles, 3s, or 4s game. You can have a literal god squad of top tier ranked players and still end up losing because your last teammate is too busy trying to get the e-girl on the enemy team's Discord tag. That being said, people should always have roles and strategies when playing in parties. I always default to handing off my emeralds since I know my party members can do a better job with them. Play to your strengths. Do you suck at PvP but bridge really well? Well, you can be the bridger guy that starts the rush. Are you the member that is good at blocking in? Well, you can be the guy that gets better tools and has your teammates hit the enemies away while you drop down and break the bed. Or are you that one teammate that when you die, when your bed's gone, your teammates all say in unison, "Oh, it's fine, we can clutch without you." Well, you can do the bed then since you probably suck at the game. I'm kidding, by the way. Making the bed is very important and we should always respect the party members that always make the bed. If you don't get what I'm saying, if you truly want to win in non-solo games, then you need to always have a plan for who does what. One of my favorite things ever is watching actual pros run the game and just wordlessly take out team after team. They have these strats so well memorized and play together so well that they don't even need to tell each other who does what. They already know their roles and they just win every time. For my final tip of this video, whenever you get in a game, just target the E-daters. It's free stats. No, but for real though, just remember it's all Bedwars in the end. No one really cares about your stats. Just have fun with it, beat up some iPad kids, and look good doing it. That's gonna be the end of this video, boys. Thank you so much for watching, gamers. If you want, you should click that subscribe button, the like button as well. It looks pretty good. It's a pretty cool dude. And even join my Discord. Invest in yellowbed stocks, you know how it is. See y'all next time.